This is a super cute Christmas project for getting inspired for the magic that is the holidays. I'm sharing the finished banner here. As I said, the kit is the way to go because it includes everything pre-cut and measured for you. I'm going to be sharing with you how I put the banner together. And yeah, I'm going to start off with, so there's the finished project. That's what we're shooting for. This banner has 7 flags in it. And I'm just going to take that away. Again, it is based on the Trucking Along bundle. We are going to be stamping using Pecan Pie and Pebble to Path. Those are 2 new Stampin' Up! Colors. And then my trusty Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. I am coloring as well. And for the coloring, I'm using the Wild Wheat, the Mossy Meadow, and the Real Red. So these are all things that you will want if you're going to create the banner as I've designed it. But you always have the option to use your own stamp sets, your own tools that you already own. We are going to need some black Stampin' Dimensionals. I like the minis. We're also going to need some Tombow liquid glue, adhesive, your paper snips, you take your pick tool. All right, and as I said, if you purchased the kits went out this morning. Here's what's included. You got a full pack of the 1-horse open sleigh DSP, a full pack of the adhesive back snowflake embellishments, a full pack of the 2325 in color jute, which has been organized for you and assembled. All right, thank you, Sonia. I'm so happy that you're commenting that you like the banner. I think it's super cute. It goes nicely on the mantle, or you could also use it as a wreath banner as well. Okay, so once let me show you what's in the kit itself. So I have, again, I've separated it. Your kit includes all the die cuts. There's a pine branch, there are pine cones with the 2 layers, the trees, and I have used dies from several different die sets, including the Alphabet a la Mode, the Nested Essentials dies, the pine cones, and the reindeer dies, and the horse and sleigh dies. So lots of die cutting, but that's okay. And I also punched your trucks for you. All right, so in one package, you're going to have the banners and your lettering and your mini banners that go on each flag of the banner itself. You have your punches and die cuts to create your 3D portions of your banner. And yeah, so you have 3 different packages there. All right. The banner itself is using these sheets from the Designer Series paper. This is amazing paper with all the winter scenes, and then of course the backside has some great, not quite solid colors, but lots of different ways to use the paper. So these are the papers that we're using in the banner. We're using that cute little fox and the cute little deer. And we're also using the backside of the fox. We're using that wood grain and some of the bare trees and that sweet winter cabin. So those are the sheets from the Designer Series paper pack that we're using. And I'm going to walk you through how I created each of the flags in the banner. And I'm going to go through each flag, as I say. All right, so for the first banner, I'm going to actually go through from the beginning. So I have a base flag for each flag in the banner. I've pre-cut it out of early espresso, and we're layering the Designer Series paper right atop that cardstock. It makes it a little bit more durable, and my recommended adhesive is my favorite, my Tombow liquid glue. And here's how I'm doing each flag. I'm using liquid glue, and notice how I don't go too close to the edge because I don't want it to squish out. So I think the multi-purpose green glue is the way to go. It is very forgiving. It never struggles with me. Once in a while it gets clogged, but I don't struggle the way I do with some of the snail or the seal applications. All right, so I'm just layering that edge to edge, and I'm even going to flip it over, kind of tap it down and align it, and just burnish down. We are going to shape the flag with the shape of the banner, and you could use any shape. These are the shapes that are included in the kit, but you could opt for a different flag shape as well. And to create the shape, I'm just going to snip right along the edge of the banner, and this is making a nice, stable, sturdy flag in the banner. And I'm going to do one extra step right after I've cut each of the flags. So fairly simple. And in the PDF tutorial, I do give you the measurements and how to cut your DSP. That way you're getting the chosen or the preferred pattern. All right, so just to finish that off, I'm going to take my sanding block, and this is something I like to do to kind of smooth out the die cutting so it's not so choppy. Now, I don't know, if you don't have a sanding block like this, you could also use a nail file, right? That just kind of forms the paper along there. All right, so we're off to a good start. Each of the flags also has a little, excuse me, just gonna have to cough. Let me take some water. All right, there's a little bit of trim with that wood grain pattern, and this is 1 inch. I scored it to help fold it along there. I can also use my bone folder to give it a nice crisp fold. So this little wintry scene, this particular paper, we're getting 2 flags out of the one DSP sheet. If you've had a chance to look at each sheet in this paper, have you chosen a favorite? There are lots of different scenes. I love every one of the sheets. I've made cards using most of the sheets. All right, now there's a little bit of an overhang there, so that created the banner, and this is essentially the template for every flag in the banner. Just going to snip that off, and we are going to be using the same template for each of the 7 flags in the banner. All right, so pretty simple so far. We're going to start embellishing each flag as well. So I've shown you how to do one. We did all 7 the same. I have pre-built some of my elements. There's that cute little truck, and the kit does include the truck punches and everything you need to build that truck, including the little wheels, that little holographic paper for the hubcaps and for the window or windscreen, and those have been pre-punched for you. As a note, if you are completing this banner using the kit that I produced, you're going to want to know if the truck is right facing or left facing, because there's a difference on how you're going to punch your window, because you want the window also facing left or right, and there is a way to do that. It has been done for you in your kit. This little truck also includes one of the railings that I stamped from the Trekking Along stamp set, and I stamped in pecan pie and then hand snipped it. So the little truck is constructed using dimensionals. I used the black dimensionals, and I backed it. So there's a front side to the truck and a back side to the truck. It makes it more of a 3D element for your banner. This banner, or this flag, also uses 2 of the Christmas tree die cuts, and we are going to start off by adding our banner with the J. And by the way, the banner says Jingle All the Way. I pre-cut all of the lettering, and when I I applied the adhesive sheet behind, so that all we have to do is peel off that covering and attach it to our small red flag. And by the way, these have been pre-cut, pre-punched for you, so you do have each little flag with your banner cut down at the bottom. Now this gets flat adhered right up, and I'm abutting it to the trim right here, and that's where each one of those is going to land. The trees themselves are going to be placed right below, and they are flat adhered, and I'm going to put it like right over to the edge of the red banner, and a second tree as well right over there. So we're creating lots of Christmas things. Whoops, I have a little sticky on my hand. There we go. So we've got 2 of the Christmas trees. And so all that's left to do for this particular flag is to attach it to, the truck to the flag, and I'm going to do this now with flat adhesive. So the truck itself was built 3D with dimensionals, then everything is going to be flat adhered onto the banner flag itself. And there is flag number 1. We are going to have to do the final prep, so I'm going to set that aside, and hopefully I won't get them out of sequence. Banner 1. And let's go on to flag number 2 in the banner. And this is featuring the same DSP. I used the other side of the DSP, and again, the tutorial will tell you how to cut the paper so you can maximize the paper without any excess waste. I'm using one of the little bear tree die cuts from One Horse Open Sleigh. We've got one truck that I built that's got the little Christmas tree and the bed, and then I've also got the trailer, which has additional pine cones and foliage. So cute. And all of these again were built 3D, so there are Stampin' dimensionals behind. Okay, so again, we're going to start off by adding our letter to our banner. This is the I in Jingle, and it gets flat adhered. That More Dazzle paper just is super pretty, catches the light nicely. So that's what the letters have been cut from. Got that. And again, flat adhesive for the little bear tree. Tombow is my favorite. You could also use seal. And I'm just going to add this to the wintry scene. There. And again, the truck gets added with flat adhesive. So right in here. All right. So hopefully you're following along with me. Not sure how many people were able to order this. I know it sold out quickly. And then it came back for a day or so. It's been quite the story for this little bundle. Right now you can grab the stamp set. The punch is estimated to be back in stock in October. All right, so the trailer itself as well is also flat adhered, and I just abutted it to the end of the flatbed. So there's our flag number 2 in the Christmas banner. What do you think? That truck builder punch does an amazing job. By the way, I do want to add, in some of my photographs, you will see that I have included a little bit of white highlights created with the gel pen. So that's optional. If you want to add the highlights with the gel pen, I would recommend doing that before you build the truck. It just makes it easier. All right, so there is flag number 2 in the Christmas banner. And again, the banner goes so smoothly with the kit because everything has been prepped for you. So there's flag number 3. This is the one with this sweet little fox in the snow. And on this one, we are going to add a little bit of Christmas foliage. So this is going to be the N. We have J-I, and we're now at N already. And you know what? Before I put down my N, I'm going to add my foliage, and it's going to go up at the top here. And this, by the way, is just a snippet of the pine cone die cut. You're going to get a full sheet in the kit, and I just use snips of the pine branches for different flags. And I'm just going to put it up at the upper left, right under that trim. All right, so now here's why I didn't put the letter down yet. I want to have the letter right on top. That is the top layer. So it's going to go right like so. Then I'm going to add my large pine cone, and your kit includes the crumb cake pine cone and the detailing in early espresso. The large one gets adhered with flat adhesive, and flat would be liquid glue. And the small one, I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals. Now here's why I like the black. If you are kind of glancing at the project from an angle, the white kind of peeks out. The dark tends to hide a little bit better. So I do like the black dimensionals for this project. So how easy was that? This is, whoops, I'm going to see if I can alter that. And because it's liquid glue, I had to pull that off because it kind of squirmed a little bit. There we go. And that way it's clearly abutted up to the top. All right, what do you think? I think that little fox is super cute. I like the simplicity of the scene. This paper works by itself. There's very little that you need to do to highlight the beauty of this paper. That was flag number 3, J-I-N. We're going to keep going on to G and Jingle. And this time we're featuring that sweet little deer. And this one also is going to include some foliage, the pine cones, and my letter. So to start, we're going to lay the foliage down. And again, that's just a snippet of that die cut, which is all pre-done for you. This is in Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to abut that up to the top of the trim right there and put it at an angle. I don't want to cover up the little cute little deer. And here we go with our letter. We're already at G for Jingle. And once again, I'm abutting it right below the trim. And just like the previous flag, the little pine cone gets adhered with liquid glue. All right, anybody out there that likes to create their holiday decor? Banners are one of my favorites. Samplers as well, but the banners I tend to create and I save them to use year after year. All right, again, the little pine cone is added with dimensionals. I think I have banners for almost every holiday throughout the year. Of course, birthday banners are also handy. And it's going to go up at the top. Now we're creating each flag. We are going to be putting the banner together. And we're on to the next flag already. This is the L. So we've done J, I, N, G. This is L. And this one is using the snowdrifts that are in the One Horse Open Sleigh or the Horse and Sleigh stamp set. to build this. We've got 2 different snowdrifts, and I'm going to add right to the bottom of the banner using Tombow liquid glue, and I'm going to position it way down here. We're going to be adding some gifts in the snow, and these are all flat adhered. And let's see, so right through here. Now I'm going to kind of gauge. I want to tuck them in there because we're going to have a snowdrift above as well. So we're doing some layering. And then another one at the front. And we're going to kind of double stack that a little. Right through there. And then we've got our front layer of the drift as well. So this one goes right up front. It's going to be at the very base of the banner. All right. Pull that down. And we have the L flat adhered as well. Goes right up to the trim. There we go. And so now I'm going to shape. I'm going to take my paper snips, and this is the way I do all the shaping. I'm just going to flip it over and snip, being careful. Hopefully the liquid glue has dried, so I'm not going to shift it by manhandling it. And continue on. Hello, Marcia. Thank you for joining in. And thank you for letting me know you're here. Now I'm going to add one more detail to this before we finish up with it. I want those little presents in the snow to glisten, so I'm going to add my Wink Stella. And we're not going through the motions of all the detailing on the banner yet, but I just want to put that on before. 1, before I forget, and 2, to give it a little bit of time to dry. There's nothing like Wink Stella to add a little sparkle to your project, right? All right, so here we go. That's our L banner with this gifts in the snow. So if you're following along with me, we've already done J-I-N-G-L. We're on E. And we have created the base of the banner, each flag. There are 7 flags. And here we go. This one features that sweet little cabin in the snow. And again, the PDF tells you how to cut so that you can maximize your patterns on here. We're going to add a little bit of foliage, still from that pine cone die cut, and it's flat adhered, obviously, with just a little bit of liquid glue in some of the wider points. Let's flip that over, add a little background for our pine cones. Right, we can put our E on there. That E was cut from the alphabet a la mode in that more dazzle paper, which is just beautiful. And it picks up the light in this cabin so nicely. There's our E. And we're going to add our large pine cone flat. And the smaller pine cone with the black dimensionals, and I'm using the mini dimensionals, make it nice and stable. And right up there, look at that. There's our E flag. I love the way the light reflects on there, and then we pick it up also with that more dazzle paper. Really sweet. All right, our last flag. This one does not have a letter, So we have jingle, and we have a little flag created all the way. This has not been stamped. It is included in your kit if you ordered the kit. So this was computer generated. I'm going to go ahead and add this with liquid glue. So jingle all the way is what our banner reads. I love the way it comes together with the theme, the little trucks pulling into the holiday cabin. And our truck, this one is left facing, so I actually stamped this one, and you can see the detail on the truck. So this is stamped with Memento Black and the Farm Fresh greeting. It's got, still has the holographic window and the holographic hub caps and the little black tires, but it's flat. I also stamped the railing and one stack of gifts, and you can see that's just plain flat. It's not really 3D the way the other trucks are. This is going to be traveling towards the cabin, so I'm going to add liquid glue. It's flat adhesive, this one. And notice I'm not putting any at the far left because it's going to be hanging off the banner. And just like so, right in there. All right. And let's add some Wink Estella to those gifts as well. Right through here. If you came in late, the video should be available over on YouTube, fingers crossed. That's the reason that I had to switch pages. I got a little bit nervous that I wouldn't be able to download if I went through the club page. All right, there's our all the way. That was the final flag. So we're next ready to assemble the banner. So we did a little bit of prep. We did some assembly for each of the 7 flags in the banner. And our next step was to punch the holes, and I didn't punch on the first one yet. What I'm using to punch, I have 2 tools available to me. So I pulled out my crocodile that doesn't get much use these days. I'm using the 1/8 inch side, and I'm going to punch my holes in the trim area, and I'm going to come in about 1/4 inch over center of the trim. And the beauty of the crocodile is that you can do several flags at once. It is heavy duty. If you don't have one, you could always use your standard handheld punch. 1/8 is what I like. So we did our holes. That's what's going to string the banner along. We're going to take, let's see, we are going to take about 60 inches of that jute twine. I chose the pebbled path, and I'm going to give you another suggestion. Let me grab mine. I don't have it handy. Let me go grab it. Alright, so 2 things on the jute. One, when it comes off the spool, it is very curly. And so what I like to do to kind of straighten it out, just take your nail and push it through, and it'll straighten it out, because if it's curled, it's just a hot mess to work with. It's much easier to have it straightened. So I'm just going to pull it through. There we go. Now to get it through the small hole that we created, I like to create my little ribbon ends, and I do that just with a little bit of tape at the ends. And you just have to have patience for this. You're just going to wrap it around. Anybody else do this? It's just easier. Sometimes when you try to feed it through that small area, the ends fray and it just gets harder and harder. So if you invest a little bit of time and patience, it's going to be much easier. I'm just going to wrap that around. And if you don't like the look of it at the end, you can just trim it off, knot it and trim it off. And I'm going to do it at the other end as well. All right. So if you are ready to get into the holiday season, even though it's 100 degrees in lots of areas, I'm going to invite you to my Just Christmas class coming up August 20th. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and you can join in the mail or in person. I will have the kits to go as well. So it's 8 cards, Christmas cards, and lots of cute projects. I hope to have them to share in a couple days. All right, now I'm going to start with flag number 1, and I like to start from back to, let me get this straight. My first flag, oh, I have to defer. All right, so let's see. I want it to go from front to back. There we go. And I'm going to slide it all the way over. I cut mine at 60 inches so I would have lots of leeway for where I want to display it. And then I'm just going to be alternating front to back, back to front. So J, the next one obviously is I, and I stacked them in order. Having said that, the first time I made this, I looked down and realized, oh, silly goose, I have the letters mixed up. So no matter how much I try, I still have my goofball moments, right? Anybody else like that? The brain just takes a break. Okay, J-I-N-G. So let's see, I did mix them up. J-I-N, here we go, I did not. Front to back, back to front. And so we're gonna pull that through, being gentle because you've got those delicate die cuts as well. All right, and pull that through. There, so J-I-N-G. Now we have a cute little deer, and we're going front to back, and then back to front. This jute twine is very cool. You get a spool in each of the new in colors, and it pairs nicely with so many of the papers. J-I-N-G-L. Just double checking. Do you ever double, triple check? And still I make mistakes. I have to laugh at myself. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I just can't fathom what's going on with my brain. Okay. It's just old folk syndrome, right? Okay. J-I-N-G-L. Where's my E? And then I'm going to go, whoops, almost went wrong. Front to back, right through here. And then back to front. And again, I want to thank you if you're joining me. I know it was kind of like a pop-up class. I just decided to do it today. I was originally scheduled to go live not until like the 6th of August. So I just wanted to get it going in case anybody's ready for Christmas in July. And I have actually more time than I thought I was going to have, despite that great event that's going on this weekend. So, all right, so J-I-N-G-L-E all the way. So one thing left to do. No project is finished until we add the embellishments, right? And here we go. For the embellishments, we're using those darling self-adhesive snowflakes that come in 3 finishes. We've got copper, gold, and white snowflakes, and there's 3 different segments. I've gone through a couple of these packs at least because I've done several things with my horse and sleigh bundle and the trekking along. All right, so on the first flag, I chose the white, and of course you could do it any way you like. I just kind of tried to match up the backgrounds. I give myself some space here. And I'm going to put a couple of these on here. So I'm going to grab my, let's see if I can put them up at the top. I've got them all spread out, and I'm going to be crossing right in front of you. Sorry about that. So the important thing is to grab the glue dot that's right underneath the snowflake. And on the first one with that pretty snowy scene, I'm using the white, and I'm using one large, one small. And again, you use what you like. Sometimes you don't have each of the sizes. It's okay, it's all good. Okay, so again, the next one, same kind of background. I'm going to be using the same color, white, and I'll use one giant one. And again, I'm reaching way out in front, probably because of where I placed it, maybe. If I bring them down here, I don't have to reach so far. Okay, so then 1, 2, we're going to put a couple of these nice little white ones on the bare tree. There we go. So then when I got to the snowy background, I went for the copper. And for the copper, I'm going to start off with the super-sized snowflake. And I'm going to put it up at the top and use a medium size, and then also a small size. So 3 snowflakes on this one. Fox is looking right at a copper snowflake there. And when I skip over to the deer, I've got the same kind of background, so I'm going to use copper as well. And I'm using medium size and a couple of small. Use whatever you've got. You get lots of snowflakes on this embellishment pack. So I'm using copper. When I get to the snowy scene with the gifts in the snow, I'm going to go to gold, and I'm going to start off with the large up by the L. I'll get a medium down by the tree, and then the small right on the fence. Oh, thank you, Marcia. I love the simplicity of the small banner. As I said, with the kit, everything's ready for you to relax and enjoy crafting. There's a lot of die cutting involved, a lot of different dies, but with the kit, everything is included and done for you, so it really makes it go quickly and enjoyably, right? No frustration. All right, so then the gold for the pretty snow cabin. Love the light that's suggested in this sheet. Oops. That one just went flick. There we go. Luckily it got the glue dot. And then a small right up in here. And then the final one all the way has 3 gold as well. Let's start off with a large. And go over to medium. And then the small, right before the gifts. All right, there is our Trekking Along Christmas banner. Let me move these out of the way so you can see everything. All right, so jingle all the way. Let's see if I can get it down in here. There we go. Jingle all the way. Looks so cute on the mantle or on a wreath. Just a really fun project to get started, to get moving on the holidays, because you know this year Christmas is going to be on December 25th, and it comes before you know it. I'm so grateful that you joined me, and I'm so pleased when you make a comment, let me know that you popped in. I appreciate you. If you have a friend you might want to share this with, don't forget to share it. The video will be over on YouTube as well if you came in late or by chance you want to just fast forward through the project. The PDF is available right now. I'll put a link right below in the comment section. You can still order a kit to go as well. I am prepping one more class. If you're interested, you can click on the link to get signed up for the Trekking Along Christmas banner. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining. I will be popping back in soon to share the Just Christmas cards that are coming up on August 20th. All right, have a great day.